He kept it simple, Norm, didn't he? Everything was simple, the messages to all of us, wasn't it? Never complicated the game, did he?
No.
I know you've heard that many times before, but...
I remember him once saying, like, what's your job? Goalkeeper, what's your job? And you start coming on with these things and... No, just stop the ball from going in the goal. Full-back, stop crosses, play forward when you win it back, preferably to a red shirt, like, you know, but centre-backs, head it and kick it. And I know that's old school. If you didn't do them simple things that he wanted you to do, he didn't keep you.
We'll get back to Keane and Mark Crossley in just a quick second, but remember, if you like this video, please like, share and subscribe, and don't forget to click the notification button so that you know when the next Big D video hits. And as ever, if something is on your mind, if something is bubbling up inside of you that you need to express, please express it in the comments. The Big D reads all of the comments, and he's always interested in what is on your mind. Anyway, in this clip, Roy Keane and Mark Crossley are going to be discussing the brilliance of Brian Clough and how he kept things simple. And what have I been saying for weeks and weeks and weeks on end during Man United's crap run in the Premier League this season? They just need to keep it simple. Keep it simple. It's not complicated. Anyway, stick around for after the clip because the Big D is going to wax lyrical on how football's just a simple game. And that's how the great players play it. And how the great managers manage it. Here they are.
Yeah. Well, Roy was 18, wasn't he? And I just remember, like, just when he turned up and even the first day you see that there's a special player like there, you know. You see it instantly, don't you? I mean, and the rest is history, innit? You know, we had some great times. It was a little bit different back then. And
the best.
But as I say, you know, under Clough it was, I would probably say that's probably the best learning curve you could ever have. It was the best education you could ever have.
Why would that be? Just, I mean, obviously we've heard a lot of Brian.
Just the way, I don't know, people always say we're scared of him and all that, and I don't think it was a case of that. I think we was in awe of him. He had a massive presence. He could just walk in a room and he didn't have to say anything. He taught, for me, when I look back, because I had 6 years with him, it was a kind of like, it didn't only try and teach me about what I'm meant to do on a football pitch, because I was a little bit of a rogue and that when I was a kid, but he taught me little things about a proper handshake, about eye contact, about not speaking to people with your hands in your pockets and all the little things that go with it. Right. And at our football club, like, the most important person was the lady that does your kit. You know, the kit man that puts your kit out, the guy that goes and makes you a cup of tea at half-time or whatever. They were the most important people at the football club, not the players. And when I look back, I think that's how he...
kept it together like that.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
He kept it simple, Norm, didn't he? Everything was simple, the messages to all of us, wasn't it? Never complicated the game, did he?
No.
I know you've heard that many times before, but...
I remember him once saying, like, what's your job? Goalkeeper, what's your job? And you start coming on with these things and... No, just stop the ball from going in the goal. Full-back, stop crosses, play forward when you win it back, preferably to a red shirt, like, you know, but centre-backs, head it and kick it. And I know that's old school, but if you didn't do them simple things that he wanted you to do, he didn't keep you.
Yeah, but it's still prevalent.
Centre-forward, get hold of the ball, keep it.
Yeah.
Get it out wide, get in the box, score me a diving header. Get cut while you're doing it. It looks better in the newspaper on a Sunday morning, you know, and just little...
He was tough as well, wasn't he? He was tough.
Oh, it was tough. Yeah. Really tough.
He was a great striker himself, wasn't he? Middlesbrough.
Yeah.
Were there any tactics at all? Any sort of shape during the week that you'd work on, or...?
Never.
That's brilliant.
Five-a-side.
Just played.
So what was training? So let's pretend you've played on a Saturday and you've got a game the following Saturday. What would your week look like from Sunday onwards?
Sometimes see you Thursday.
Wow.
Really?
From Saturday?
Yeah.
Now I know when before you were talking about training hard, to be fair, it was quite, you only did 1 day a week.
His arse off on
But
a
the work he
Friday.
put in is the work he put in.
You wouldn't see him till Thursday, Friday anyway, but as soon as he appeared, training obviously went up a level, but like even goalkeepers, we never had a goalkeeping coach. Like,
So who's doing that then? What were you doing?
we were doing it between ourselves, but we'd play five-a-side and we'd play out. Yeah.
Jeez.
Wow.
4-4-2, it never changed. And
But it was a good environment, wasn't it?
Brilliant environment,
Good environment for players. Like you'd Piercy and Nigel and Des. You'd all good players.
Yeah,
remember?
good players, yeah.
Live in the sessions.
Yeah, what does team talk be then before a game in terms of sort of how to motivate you or how to sort of...
well, you remember he used to have the cricket ball?
Yeah.
So he'd come in, like 8 minutes to kick off, say. And he likes you to sit down still with a towel over your knees. Focus on the job.
Have you got clothes on?
Any particular reason?
We've got
The
clothes,
towel?
yeah. He'd just like you to put, I don't know, keep warm, focus on the game, and then he'd pull out his cricket ball and he'd throw it, catch it, throw it back. Next one, catch it, throw it back, catch it, and then he'd take his flat cap off and he'd try and throw it on the peg. We used to have a ball in the middle of the dressing room on a towel. And he'd go, "That's what we're playing with, keep it on the floor." That was it. That's it.
That's it.
Go and enjoy it, play with a smile on your face. That's it. Never did never ever once mention the opposition. Never.
Ever?
Never
Set
ever.
pieces and nothing?
Nothing.
Wow.
No set plays.
Wow.
Because he believed so much in you guys.
It's off
I
the cuff.
And he
suppose.
could pick players. He obviously knew a good player.
Yeah, yeah.
Off the cuff.
Recruitment was fantastic.
Wow.
That was a tough
You know, he definitely made sure you wouldn't be overthinking the game, would he?
Yeah.
You never
sound like it.
No, you'd never go in the pitch and thinking, listen, you would know your job. That's a really important part of management. And it would be all them simple things like looking after the ball, striker get hold of it. For me, just make some runs and.
Well, what about the
process.
opposing team with the runners that's coming through and what they... nothing.
Yeah, but subconsciously you'd be aware of who you're playing. But you wouldn't need the manager telling you that. You know who you're up against. You'd be doing that by just watching games yourself and picking up on stuff.
But when man-
Yeah, I've been saying for as long as I've been doing this YouTube channel, so maybe about 12 months, something like that. Football is not a complicated game. It's 11 men playing with balls with another 11 men. That's what it is. That's all it is. And they just have to put the ball in the back of the opposition net and keep it from going in their own net. And if they're able to do that, then you win matches. And if you win matches, you win points, you win titles. That's it. That is the equation. Yeah. And, whatever position you're in, just keep that simple. It's like what Brian Clough said to Roy Keane. He says something along the lines of, you can run, you can pass, and you can hold the ball. Or you can carry the ball. Something like that. Just do that. And Roy Keane has famously said that's what he based his entire career on. And there's no substitute for talent. You can't coach talent into a player. They've either got it or they haven't. And if they have got it, just set up a system that maximises their strengths. Or if you've got a certain system, make sure you get the players in that can fit in that system as well, which is obviously what Ruben Amorim has been struggling with this past 6 months or so. But anyway, let's get back to Cloughie. Yeah, all the great managers were the same. They just kept things simple. Alex Ferguson very famously used to say to players when he was subbing them on, like if Scholes had been on the bench, for instance, he'd say to Scholesy, just keep hold of the ball. That's it. That's all you have to do. Just go on there, keep hold of the ball. Or he'd say to Wes Brown or someone when they made the debut, he said, don't give it away. That's it. Don't give the ball away. Because they know how to play the game. Just make sure you don't do a specific thing, or make sure you do a specific thing in that instance. So I remember one team talk that Roy Keane talked about Alex Ferguson as well, against Spurs. Ferguson came into the dressing room and said, "It's Spurs, lads," and walked out. And that's all they needed to hear, because they were talented players, and talented players know how to play the game. You can't coach talented players, and I think Brian Clough understood that. You don't really coach Roy Keane. You might train him, but you don't really coach him. Not talent like that. Jose Mourinho, another great player. He used to say, Cristiano Ronaldo, how do you coach Cristiano Ronaldo? You don't. You don't coach him. Not when he had him anyway. But, this kind of thing isn't just reserved for great managers and great players necessarily. Even great coaches, as in, part of the backroom staff, can be great at what they do too, and they do that by keeping it simple. So, René Mullenstein very famously pulled Cristiano Ronaldo to one side and said to him, how many goals do you think he'll score this season? And this was the beginning of his Ballon d'Or year, and he said, I'll beat next season 30 goals. And Rene Meulensteen said to him, "Really?" And Cristiano Ronaldo was shocked. He said, 40? He says, "Yes." And he went about training him how to score 40 goals, right? And what he did was, he put a compilation together of all the great Man United strikers like Ruud van Nistelrooy, Andy Cole, Dwight York, Cantona, whoever, Solskjaer, put it together and showed him. And he asked him, "What do you see?" And he says, "I've seen great goals." He said, "But what do you see?" And he said he saw all kinds of goals. So Rene Meulensteen said to him, "You need to learn how to score tap-ins and headers. You'll always score the long ranges and all of that, but you need to learn how to sweep up." And that comes with positioning a lot of the time. So Cristiano Ronaldo, all he had to do, because he was fit as a fiddle, was just make sure he was in the right position to score a tap-in. That's it. And that's how he sort of transformed his game as his career, as he got older. He played more as a number 9, and he'd learned how to do that just by being in the right position at the right time. And it's positioning and timing. And why someone isn't telling this to Rasmus Højlund, I don't know. Maybe they are and he can't do it. Who knows? Or maybe they are and it just hasn't sunk in yet. But who knows? But what do you guys think makes a great manager? Is it the simplicity of their communication? Thoughts in the comments, and the Big D will see you in the next one.